Beastworld is finally upon us with Titans Beastworld Issue 1 by Tom Taylor and Ivan Reis. The series begins with a bang as Brother Eternity reveals his plans to the world when his space explorers reach the moon of Titan and broadcasts a message to a strange ruins that the Forevernauts find, unleashing the ancient Necrostar onto the world. Thanks to Starfire, we learned that the Necrostar was imprisoned on Titan 30 million years ago by Starro, who aided her people in imprisoning it. This is where Taylor shifts gears, and instead of going the usual route of a huge big space battle with all different universes and planets colliding, he employs the tenets he's been setting up in the new Titans series, and it all comes down to Beast Boy taking the reins. As Garfield comes up with a plan to stop the Necrostar, we of course get the heroes battling the aliens in cool action sequences, but here the heroes are more focused in helping save people rather than combating the creature outright. And again, it's stuff that Taylor was doing really well in the Titans book, where the Titans were focusing on very certain things to deal with before they could tackle the bigger issue. Taylor then also uses Beast Boy's powers to great effect and in really creative ways, having him take on the form of a whale who has the largest brain to body ratio in order to give himself a bit of an intelligence boost to see if he can figure out what to do. And he does figure it out, and it's pretty wild, as Beast Boy, with a little help from Raven, turns himself into Garo, a giant Starro, which combats the Necrostar in space. The downside to this is that it's heavily implied that he is stuck in this form now thanks to the effort it took him, and to make matters worse, Dr. Hate, the new character Joshua Williamson set up in Night Terrors, and one we've actually not seen a lot of until now, makes an appearance and erases Garfield from Beast Boy, leaving only the violent animal that Garfield could become, and in doing so causes him to spread a Starro stream across the world, infecting people all over the world, starting with Black Adam and Kahndaq, turning them into monstrous animals. This is a hell of a first issue, and Taylor doesn't let up at all, having made character misery and drama an art form now thanks to many of his series like Injustice, Earth 2 and Deceased, and a myriad of other stories he's written all employing those same things, and each time it's done unique to the next and really different from the next, and here is no different. People absolutely have to read the first 5 issues of Titans though to truly appreciate the story and sort of pick up on what exactly is happening, especially with Brother Eternity, since he's the one who sort of set everything off and his story is covered in those first 5 issues. So you would be doing yourself a favor if you did indeed pick up those books and follow on the story from there. There was also an alpha issue that released last week, which to my knowledge you don't actually need to read, since it's just a collection of backup stories that Beast Boy was in that didn't really have anything to do with this event. It did kind of hint at he is able to control multiple animals and, you know, stuff we already kind of got in those first 5 Titans books, and you doesn't really need to read it. And besides, it's $12 on Amazon, which is an insane price for a tie-in issue for a summer event. I'm really looking forward to the writers getting into the nitty-gritty on how Beast Boy is changing these people, obviously because his powers are to change people, and since he's a Starro, he's infecting these people and I guess giving them his powers, and they're able to change into these monstrous creatures, like we see Black Adam turn into a sort of werewolf bear type creature along with Black Adam's powers, which is quite scary to think of, and we obviously see other characters like Batman and Nightwing undergo this as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the tie-ins to this specifically, since it seems to be really focused on the Bat family and people related to the Titans at least. Then of course there is the story with the Tamaranian pretending to be Brother Eternity. In the first 5 issues of the Titans book, we did find out that he was Tamaranian and he was causing certain problems to try and get the Titans out of the picture and trying to kill Wally West and everything. That never succeeded, so he just went along with his plan since he was ready for it, and I'm intrigued to see what his end game was exactly, to take over the world and obviously the universe as a member of whatever the Necrostar hive mind is. And that's where I found the book kind of lacked a little bit, since it just kind of threw you in the deep end, which I guess is probably the point of it, since it's just so chaotic and happens so fast that you're there with the characters, you're there finding things out as they're finding them out and learning things as they're learning them. So you get the sense that you're never ahead of the character and never know what's going to happen next, which is what Tom Taylor has done before in many of his books. And I'm intrigued to see how he's going to apply that to a main universe book, since usually things like this happen in his Elseworld story, where you can have characters be killed by anything and things happen that you wouldn't usually happen in the main universe. So I'm intrigued to see him tackling a main continuity event, a summer event at that. Ivan Reyes tags in as the event artist, and boy does he know how to do spectacle. Of course, we've seen him do myriad of DC stuff, from Superman to Batman to everything in between, and everything here is just so large scale and bombastic. But he and the script never forget the quieter moments as well, focusing on the characters, specifically Raven and Beast Boy, who are looking to be the two central characters of this event. And that's what I found really fun about this event, is that we are focusing on characters who are pretty popular. Raven and Beast Boy are popular, the Titans are popular, and they are finally getting the proper spotlight. They are leading a big summer event, which is something you never see happen. It's usually always the Justice League, or your Batmans, or your Supermans, or your Wonder Womans. It's never the Titans. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing them getting a lot of character development and page time across the entirety of this event. Tom Taylor really came out swinging with this first issue of Beastworld, and it kind of lived up to the hype he'd been building through social media over the last couple of months. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the chaotic nature of it. It just kind of dropped you right into it, and you're left asking what the hell is going on by the end of it. But it also paid off a lot of the things he'd been doing in the Titans book, as well as built on them a little bit more, especially with characters like Beast Boy, who's become the center of attention for this event and has a really unique place in this event as being both the hero and the villain, which is really quite a unique take for this event. I'm very much looking forward to it, as well as seeing what ties he has to these other events, like with Dr. Hate turning up, and I'm sure Waller is getting her fists involved somewhere in this event, and I'm just looking forward to it all. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. This was a damn good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys will as well. And as I said before, pick up issues 1 to 5 of Titans. You will not regret it. It's been a great story, and it's going to continue to be a great story across this event.